Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be closing out our paycheck number 3 and tracking our weekly expenses. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. My name is Janelle. I'm a wife and a mother of one, and we are expecting our second baby here come November. And on here we do all things cashless budgeting. So if that is something that you're interested in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So this week we're going to be looking from the 19th through the 25th of September. So we are going to go through all of the spending that I did. The way this works for me is I have an Ally checking account and an Ally savings account. My sinking funds and savings challenges stay in our savings account, and then our checking account holds all of the actual cash for my cashless spending. I use my Discover card. Sometimes I use other cards just to use them. And then each week when I come on here and show you guys, I go ahead and pay the money back out of the account. So I went from kind of like a tracking each category to just tracking what's in the actual account. So you guys can see, like up here, I started off at $970 and I've just been tracking down. And I'm gonna tell y'all that I actually prefer it this way because it actually just helps me see like how much money we just need in that account versus like what I need per category, because one category may need more one month versus another one. So I started it this month and I've been enjoying it. So on the 19th, I did a grocery pickup at HEB and I spent $91.33. Then on the 21st, we were going to go out for breakfast, but I just could not get out of my bed, y'all. So we actually ordered in and we spent $89.73. It may sound like a lot, but this is pretty much what we would have paid if we were inside. Like if we had got up and gone. Plus more because we would have to use gas. Next was on the 21st. I got some stuff off of Amazon. I'm trying to remember what I got from Amazon for the $65.33. I think I had picked up like some hangers. It was like some random stuff, y'all. And they were mixed in because this next Amazon was from Household. And we needed some light bulbs. Okay, and then out of spending, I had got these like little bottles to hold like your, it's coming to like laundry soap and all of that stuff. And the reason why I needed to buy that, y'all, was because I was washing my clothes. And I think I told y'all this, that I thought that something was wrong with my dryer and stuff like that and my washing machine. But I realized that I was just reusing a bottle to save money and putting the soap in there. And I guess that container started to get moldy. I don't know. So when I went to go smell it, I was like, oh, this is the issue, not that. So I had to use something else and wash my clothes, and my clothes were perfectly fine. So I knew that that was it, but that thing is not made to hold water in there. So I picked up some of those off of Amazon, and then we picked up some other stuff. I can't remember. Pregnancy brain. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. But that's the spending in household that we did. And then we had lawn care come out and they came and cut our grass. And that was it, y'all. We were not big on spending this week, but it's just the purchases were a little bit larger. Now, I did not have to buy gas this week because my husband had took my vehicle over the weekend to do my inspection and he filled my tank up. Love him for that. And so I was able to use that entire tank for the week and did not have to fill up. So saved a few dollars there because as you can see, we are at $92.90 for the last week of September. I am glad that I had finished our savings challenge for spending, which I will add in next week's check so that you guys will be able to see that added into our checking account to give us a little bit of buffer because we need some groceries, y'all. Groceries is just so expensive. Like everything, like me saying, okay, I'm just going to spend this amount of money and then divvy up the rest. It is just not cutting it. And I've been doing a lot better with like not eating like all of the snacky stuff, but it's getting crazy, y'all. Next is we're gonna go to our sinking funds tracker. So on the 24th, baby girl. Oh, I think I'm missing one now. I am missing now that I'm looking at it. I need to know what it is. I think it was 30. Well, maybe I didn't have to pay. I'll need to double check. I'll get to y'all in just a second with that. But on the 24th, baby girl went to the doctor because she had been complaining that her throat hurts. But they said that she doesn't have strep or anything like that. Nothing's wrong. She was perfectly fine. So we're just going to see if maybe it was just like allergies. And she's taking her allergy medicine, and then we'll kind of go from there. Then on the 20th, I bought some things for baby girl number 2 because my husband has decided to start nesting. He's finally on board. I want to throw stuff away and he is taking stuff out. So we are finally trying to get things together. We have about, y'all, like 5 weeks left. We just need to get through October. It's crazy. So yeah, we really need to get cracking. And then I paid for the other half of my maternity photos because we take that this coming weekend. And then we did add my $132 for my sinking funds. Now I did end up going to the doctor on the 25th and to my cardiologist on the 25th. I can't remember if I had to pay a copay, but I feel like I did. So I may add that in after when I go back and check. But my cardiologist has already recommended that I go on bed rest because my heart situation really isn't improving, and any extra work that I do is just putting too much pressure on me. So we're going to see how that goes for the month of October. I've already talked to my employer and we've kind of already worked out a lot of things to allow me to still like work. So I am just so glad for that. But we'll talk about that later once everything's kind of finalized. But this was everything for my sinking funds. So now we're going to go and see how much money we spent for the third week in September. This time, you guys, I did go ahead and write down what I spent. Now, y'all don't worry. Oh, these won't be negative numbers. So we will see. I'm adding up the numbers on what I spent in each category instead of subtracting the numbers because I don't feel like that's helpful. It's helpful for me to see how much money I'm spending in each category each month. And then gauging my spending from there. So for groceries, I spent $91.33. So we'll do $91.33. So we're gonna add, just so y'all can see both, 366.48 plus 91.33 is 457.81. So as of week 3, this is how much we spent towards groceries. We did not spend anything towards gas, so we're still at $99.48. Household, we spent $58.16. And we will add 76.47 plus 58.16. So we have spent $134.63 so far in household. And then for spending, we spent $155.06. And so $155.06 plus, where were we here? $30.12 equals 185.18. And spending won't always be this much. It's just we are getting closer and closer to birth, and we are trying to do all of the things. But this is where we are ending in each category that we have spent so far. And then for the week, 16 plus 155.06, we have spent $304.55 this week in spending. So, yeah, y'all, that is where we are with our spending. So now we're going to go and take a look at our expense tracker for our operating account. On the 14th, we ended out at $360.24. Since then, me and my husband put money into our checking account. We paid our YouTube TV. We paid our Acorn subscription for the rest of the year. And then we also put $11 into like our investments so that whenever we reach our Acorns like roundup, there's money in there for Acorns to take out to invest. We had our internet bill for $94.65, and then we paid the last half of our debt. So our operating account is saying that we should be at $1936.24, and we will check that off by going to our paycheck and seeing if all of that came out correctly. So one is, it says $360.24. Okay, so we are going to come over here. Okay, and we are going to do the math. So we did have $550 here. We had $1,500 here. And then this was $360.24. And we always just like to do the math again to make sure I wasn't crazy when I originally did the math. And so 24.10.24, okay. Then for our fixed bills, we had 106.35, 94.65, and our $12. And we're just going to make sure that that is correct too. So that was, $213. Okay. That's what that was. We did not take any money out of variable expenses. And then we did have our investments and we put $11 in there. And then for half of our debt, or the other half, we put $250. So all of those things were taken care of, nothing extra. So we are going to do 24.10.24 minus 213 leaves us with 2197.24. And I'm just writing this 2197.24. We'll do minus 11 is 2186.24. And then we'll minus 250. And that should leave us at 1936.24. And we will go back because we just want to make sure that that is where we were at, 1936.24. So checking account and paycheck are correct. If y'all can see me writing, sorry. 24 here. So that is where we are ending off our third paycheck. If you guys haven't already checked out my savings challenge, I was able to fully fund what I wanted to fund for my maternity leave, which was getting to an additional $1,900. We fully funded our baby fund, holidays, and spending for what I was just saving for. So really happy about that. My money thoughts, you guys, honestly, is just to stay focused. I am hoping that we don't go over in our cashless envelopes, because the goal was to not overspend, but we are working on a tight budget. And this is my monthly meal plan. So really quickly, I have here from the 27th, we're supposed to have some guests on the 28th. So I'm hoping my husband will make dinner on Saturday. So we'll have dinner Saturday, and then we don't have to worry about cooking on Sunday. We'll have leftovers. And then on Monday, we'll be simple, do some chicken and rice and have leftovers. This will be the first and the second, because that is part of my last paycheck. And so I am thinking of hamburger helper here. And then, I don't know, we'll figure out something here. Because here my husband made like some corned beef and rice. And so that's what we had here. So we really did have food, like real food to eat throughout the week last week. So proud of myself. Check for doing that. And then that is what our goal is for next week. Oh, actually, you know, I have some wings in the freezer, so we could do wings actually. So everything may not be in this order, but like that's kind of what we're planning out, and it helps me plan out our grocery list for the month. So I am going to be finishing this off, y'all, because we actually have to get ready to go and do our maternity photos. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.